What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, I put this tweet out a couple of days ago, and I wanted to share the results here. Again, this is small sample size, and it's not a perfect, I guess, estimate or guess or speculation of what we can expect, but these were just some of the ideas that I had, and I put it out there and wanted to share with you, as well as some of the responses that I got as well as some of the responses that I got to this. So, thinking ahead, right? Thinking ahead. Right now, we have modern and wild format, but as more and more formats are added, as more and more expansions are added, so we're going to get Rebellion next year, which would shift Untamed out, right? And then you'd have Chaos Legion and Rebellion and their associated mini sets. But what happens after Rebellion? So we're talking about 2 years out potentially. What happens after Rebellion? What happens after that, right? Like all of a sudden, Wild is going to be this massive, it's going to have so many different pack sets in it that there may be a devaluation of cards as we're already seeing. And I think the prices will go up and down over time, or the values will go up and down over time. But I think as the game grows, and that's both with players and expansions, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another format in the future, right? So we have wild format and modern format. And again, I'm not even saying that we stop at 3 formats. If this game grows so dramatically, it will be interesting to see what all different formats could look like. Now, that being said, this would have to go to some kind of SPS proposal, because as it stands right now, the proposals only pay out for 2 formats, and it's set in that way. But everything in the future is going to be somewhat malleable and changeable and adjustable due to the fact that we have governance on the SPS through the SPS governance token. So let me jump into the tweet here. So if Splinterlands were to add a 3rd format into the game next year after Rebellion comes out, what would you want to see? And I put a couple of ideas here. So you have Classic, which is only non-modern, and this was the highest answer, winning 2/3 of the vote. And so when I say non-modern, when we have Chaos Legion and Rebellion as your modern set, if you have Wild as all of the sets, Classic would be all of the sets that are not currently modern. So for players that it's always going to be super close to Wild. So I don't know that it's necessarily the best idea in the long run, but I think Classic could fit this cool thing, or cool space, or time period, I should say, after Rebellion comes out, or maybe even after the set after Rebellion, for example. Then there was this idea to do like an intermediate, and this is where I'm talking about where you can add value to specific sets. So right now, obviously, intermediate would only be Untamed and Dice, meaning that like your wild format is going to include like alpha and beta, and then your intermediate would include maybe Untamed, Dice, and then when whatever happens after Rebellion comes out, maybe when there's 6 expansions, right? So alpha, beta, Untamed, Chaos Legion, Rebellion, and then whatever comes after, you go like 2, 2, and 2. And again, that's, Rebellion's coming out next year, and ideally 2024 is when we would see the set, or we'll just call it the 6th expansion. So it's still a while away, and I think that we could expand to potentially 3 formats by then. So intermediate might work in that way. And then, 20% of the people, or 21% of the people decided to comment other, and then I asked people to throw their comments in below. And there were a bunch of really good ideas. If I'm skipping over it, it's not because I don't think it was a good idea. There's just a couple that I really wanted to highlight that were kind of in the vein of what I was looking for, but lots of really, really fun outside the box ideas. So obviously people want like a free to play version, and I think that'd be fun. Weirdbeard has been talking about this, but let's see here. So someone was saying, I'm down for a soulbound league that will include Gladius cards and the upcoming rewards cards. And this was really interesting to me, because soulbound cards, both Gladius and the upcoming rewards cards, could represent that proof of time, meaning that if you've been in the game for a while, and when I say in the game for a while, like obviously with soulbound reward cards starting now, a while would be like 1, 2, 3 years from today, or whenever soulbound reward cards come out. That would be an interesting way to have a proof of time element and a league that rewards that specifically. And again, I'm just talking about ranked play. for all of this, right? So ranked play at this point, it's botted to hell. I don't know if that's ever going to get fixed or addressed or whatever the case is, but I'm over it in the sense that, you know, it is what it is, and that's what we get with a decentralized game. But it would make a cool area to flex your ability to play some of these higher level cards if you have leveled up gladiator cards, if you have leveled up soulbound reward cards. So that was a really cool idea that I wish I had thought of beforehand, but Russell Young, shout out to you. And then let's see here. I think there should be one revert to one. So Furious Jason's talking about a set draft can only use the latest set. Both cards are pooled. Both can use cards in the pool. I like this idea, but again, it wasn't necessarily what I was going for. It seems as though this might be a good draft mode opportunity. And if you've heard any of the things from Weirdbeard lately, that's kind of where I would put something like that. But that's actually really it. I thought there was one more comment, but maybe it didn't load for whatever reason. But I'm not going to look for it now. So I want to put this out to you now, because obviously there's only 43 people that voted on this, and there's many more people who will watch these videos or who are part of the channel. So what are your ideas? If we put this out to the community, what are your ideas on how we can get a solid third format that still provides value, that almost threads the needle of finding like that opportunity space, right? So, you know, Classic seems like a cool idea to me. Obviously, Intermediate seems like a cool idea to me. Just because, again, not Intermediate, not necessarily for like next summer, but in like 2 years from now when the 6th expansion is out, it'd be kind of cool to have formats that have like, you know, one that includes everything, one that includes the most recent 2, and one that includes the 2 before that, for example, to give like Untamed and Chaos Legion. Well, again, Untamed and Chaos Legion is kind of what we have now in our modern set, so maybe people wouldn't like it too much. But I want to throw this out to the Hive Mind on YouTube. So let me know what you're thinking if you have ideas for this, because I think it's going to come at some point, and it would be cool to start brainstorming ideas for this in the future when the team starts to think about, okay, we have the player base for it, we have the cards and expansions for it. Let's see how we can move and what direction we can go in. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Just wanted to share this with you and go from there. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.